The door that opened. The alarm started at 9:17 p.m. It wasn't the gentle warning chime the sisters were used to hearing when someone forgot to disarm the system. This was different.
Loud.
Urgent. Continuous. The kind of sound that makes your stomach drop before your mind catches up. Maya froze first. Lena was halfway down the hallway when the siren erupted through the house, sharp and metallic, echoing off the walls of their newly built home. For a split second, neither of them moved. The sound felt wrong in a house that still smelled faintly of fresh paint and new wood. "Did you set it?" Lena asked, her voice already thinner than usual. "Yes," Maya whispered. It was armed. The front door sensor. That's what the alert said on Maya's phone. Front entry breached. The words didn't make sense.
They had locked it themselves.
They had checked twice. Their parents wouldn't be home until after midnight. No one else had a key. The camera notification came seconds later. Maya opened the security app with shaking fingers. The live feed from the front porch loaded in grainy night vision. The door was wide open. Cold air pushed inside, stirring the entryway rug. The porch light cast a pale glow across the empty threshold. No one stood there. No movement. No shadow. Just an open door. Lena stepped closer to the phone screen. "Where is he?" "Who?" "Whoever opened it." They both stared. The driveway was empty. The street beyond was silent. No footsteps. No fleeing figure. No car peeling away. Maya switched to playback, dragging the timeline back 30 seconds. The video rewound. The front door was closed.
Still. Still.
Then, it opened. Not violently. Not kicked in. The handle didn't visibly turn. The door didn't jerk. It simply eased inward, slow and smooth, as though someone had gently pushed it. But there was no one there. Lena leaned closer, squinting. "Zoom in." Maya pinched the screen. The image pixelated, blurring details, but there was nothing. No distortion in the air. No outline. No reflection. Just the door swinging open into darkness. A police siren wailed somewhere in the distance. Both sisters jumped. For a moment, hope flickered. Maybe someone nearby had reported something. Maybe help was already on the way. But the siren faded, passing the neighborhood, without slowing. The house felt larger suddenly. Hollow. "What if someone's inside?" Lena whispered. Maya swallowed. "They'd show up on the camera." "You don't know that." The motion detection icon blinked again. Not at the front door. Inside. Living room camera. They switched feeds. The living room sat in grayscale night vision.
Couch.
Coffee table. TV reflecting faint light. Hallway entrance to the left. Everything still. Then something small crossed the frame. It happened fast. Too fast to fully register. A dark shape, low to the ground, darted from the hallway into the kitchen and out of view in less than a second. Lena sucked in a sharp breath. "Did you see that?" Maya replayed it. The shadow appeared again.
Small. Compact.
Almost child-sized. It moved with unnatural speed, not quite running, not quite gliding. And it had no features. No face. No limbs visible. Just a dense, shifting patch of black against gray. The camera's motion tracker tried to follow it. A faint green square flickered for half a second, then vanished as the figure crossed into darkness. "Is that a glitch?" Lena asked. "It tracked something," Maya said. They watched again. This time they noticed something worse. When the shape first entered the frame, the tracking box didn't appear at all. But once it reached the center of the room, a green square suddenly locked onto empty space in the far corner, nowhere near the moving figure. As if the camera was confused. Or distracted. The alarm continued to scream in the background, relentless. Maya muted it through the app, plunging the house into an unnatural quiet. Silence was worse. Every creak of the cooling house sounded deliberate. Lena grabbed Maya's arm. "Check the hallway camera." They switched feeds again. The hallway was empty. The bedroom doors were closed. Their own bedroom door, the one they were currently standing behind, was visible at the end of the corridor.
Closed.
But as they watched, the handle twitched. Both sisters froze. The door did not swing open. It didn't even rattle. But the handle dipped downward slowly, deliberately, as if pressed by an invisible hand testing the latch. Then it lifted back into place. Maya's breath caught painfully in her throat. "We locked it," Lena said. "I know." The bedroom door behind them was locked. They had turned the bolt seconds after the alarm went off. The hallway camera showed no one there. No shadow.
No outline.
Yet the handle had moved. "Maybe pressure," Lena said weakly. "Air pressure." "The windows are closed." "Then what is that?" The motion detection alert blinked again. "Living room." They switched back. The room was empty. Still. Then the green tracking square appeared in the middle of the air near the staircase. Nothing visible occupied the space. Yet the camera insisted something was there. The box followed an invisible shape upward, step by step, as if tracking a person climbing the stairs. But there was nothing. Halfway up, the tracking box flickered and vanished. The stairs were empty. Lena's voice trembled. "It's coming up here." Maya's heart pounded so hard she could hear it in her ears. "This doesn't make sense," she whispered. "It has to be a glitch." Doors don't open because of glitches. The bedroom door handle behind them shifted again. This time harder. A faint click echoed in the room. The sisters turned slowly. The bolt remained locked, but the handle depressed fully and held, like someone on the other side was testing how much force it would take. "Stop," Lena whispered, though she didn't know who she was speaking to. The pressure on the handle released. For 3 long seconds, nothing happened. Then the door shook. Not violently. Just once. A firm, deliberate push. The frame creaked. Maya backed away, pulling Lena with her toward the far corner of the room. "Call someone," Lena said.
Who?
"What do we say?" She imagined explaining. Our door opened by itself. A shadow ran through our living room. Something invisible is climbing our stairs. The hallway camera feed flickered. For a split second, a shape stood outside their bedroom door. Tall this time. Not small like before. It didn't move. It didn't need to. Its outline blurred at the edges, like smoke trying to hold human form. Then the image distorted. Static crackled across the screen. When it cleared, the hallway was empty again. The bedroom light above them flickered once.
Twice.
Then steadied. Lena's grip tightened painfully around Maya's wrist. "It changed," she whispered. "What did?" "It was small downstairs." Maya understood immediately. Now it wasn't. Another alert chimed on the phone. Front door. They switched back to the porch camera. The door was closing.
Slowly. Gently.
As though guided by unseen fingers. It shut with a soft click. The lock engaged. The porch light flickered out. The alarm system automatically reset itself. Silence reclaimed the house. Every camera feed now showed nothing out of place. No shadows. No tracking boxes. No movement. Just an ordinary home at night. The sisters didn't move for several minutes. Finally, Lena spoke in a voice barely above a breath. "It left." Maya stared at the screen, replaying the door closing over and over. "No," she said quietly, because just before the door had shut, just before the latch clicked into place, a small, dark shape had slipped past the camera. Inside. And this time, it hadn't gone back out. What stayed behind? The house never felt the same after that night. By morning, everything looked normal. The front door was locked. The windows were sealed. No footprints marked the porch. No scratches lined the frame. Their parents blamed a system malfunction. "New builds have wiring issues sometimes," their dad said, checking the alarm panel. "Probably a software glitch." Maya showed him the footage. The door opening. The small shadow running across the living room. The green tracking box climbing empty stairs. He watched in silence. "It's compression distortion," he said finally. "Cameras fill in missing pixels in low light. Your eyes make patterns out of noise." But even he replayed the clip of the hallway twice. He didn't comment on the tall shape. He just handed the phone back and said, "Don't let your imagination run." They tried not to. For 3 days, nothing happened. Then the sounds began. It started with soft tapping in the walls at night. Not the sharp crack of settling wood. Not pipes. This was rhythmic. 3 taps.
Pause.
3 taps again. Always from different places. Sometimes above the ceiling. Sometimes inside the closet. Once, unmistakably, from beneath Maya's bed. She stopped sleeping with the lights off. Lena started leaving her bedroom door open. The hallway felt safer than being sealed in. On the 4th night, the alarm didn't go off. But the cameras did. Maya's phone buzzed at 2:14 a.m. Motion detected. Living room. She didn't open it right away. She stared at the notification, pulse racing. Lena was awake too. She could tell by the way her sister's breathing shifted in the darkness. "Don't," Lena whispered. Maya opened the app anyway. The living room camera loaded. Nothing. Empty couch. Still curtains. Then the tracking square appeared. Midair. Dead center of the room. It followed something slowly across the floor. This time, there was no visible shadow. No darting shape. Just the green box gliding steadily, like it was tracking a person walking calmly through the house. Step by step. Toward the staircase. Maya's throat tightened. "It's doing it again," she whispered. The box reached the bottom of the stairs.
Paused.
Then began to rise. But halfway up, it stopped. The box flickered. Then split into 2. 2 green squares now tracked 2 separate points on the staircase. Side by side. Climbing together. Lena grabbed the phone. "That's not a glitch." The feed crackled briefly. A faint distortion shimmered across the steps, like heat rising from pavement. And for just a fraction of a second, something moved inside the distortion.
Tall.
Angular. Watching. The screen went black.
Camera offline.
Maya refreshed the app. All cameras disconnected. The Wi-Fi symbol at the top of her phone still showed full signal. But the house had gone blind. The tapping started again. This time not in the walls. On the bedroom door. 3 knocks.
Slow.
Measured. The sisters stared at the handle. Neither moved. Another 3 knocks. Then silence. Lena's voice barely formed words. "It knows we're awake." Maya stood slowly, legs shaking. "Don't," Lena breathed. But Maya stepped closer to the door anyway. The wood felt cold under her palm. She leaned toward it, straining to hear. Nothing. Then, a whisper. Not loud, not clear, but unmistakably a voice. It didn't come through the door. It came from inside the room, right behind them. Both sisters turned at the same time. The closet door stood open. They hadn't opened it. The light inside flicked on. Shirts swayed gently on their hangers, as if disturbed by movement. The tapping resumed. Not on the bedroom door anymore. Inside the closet. 3 knocks.
Pause.
3 knocks. Lena's breathing turned shallow and uneven. "Close it," she whispered. Maya couldn't move. The hanging clothes shifted again. Something deeper in the darkness shifted with them. A shape separated from the shadows. Small at first. Low to the ground. The same compact outline they'd seen in the living room days earlier. It crawled forward slightly, then stopped. The closet light flickered, and the shape grew. Not by stepping forward, not by standing up. It stretched, lengthened, unfolded into something taller than the door frame. Its edges wavered like smoke fighting gravity. The tapping stopped. The whispering started again. Closer now. Layered. As if 2 voices overlapped, slightly out of sync. The bedroom door behind them rattled violently. Once.
Twice.
Then the knob twisted hard. The bolt strained. The tall shape inside the closet tilted its head, watching them.
Studying.
The closet light burst. Darkness swallowed the room. The only glow came from Maya's phone screen. In its pale light, the figure seemed closer. Not moving, just nearer. The air felt heavy, thick, pressing against their chests. The phone buzzed again. Connection restored. Maya looked down automatically. All cameras online. The living room feed activated on its own. The green tracking square appeared immediately. Not downstairs. Not in the hallway. In their bedroom. Centered directly over them. But the camera in their room had never been installed. There was no bedroom camera. The app glitched, cycling rapidly through feeds. Front door.
Closed. Kitchen.
Empty.
Hallway.
Empty. Then, a new angle. A perspective from the ceiling corner of their bedroom. Looking down at them, the sisters stared at the screen in horror. The room displayed clearly. Their beds. The closet.
The door.
And in the center of the floor, two dark shapes. One tall, one small. Standing behind them. Maya slowly lifted her eyes from the phone. Nothing stood there. The room appeared empty. But on the screen, the tall figure leaned forward. Its head bent unnaturally close to Maya's shoulder. The smaller one stood beside Lena. Still. Watching. The green tracking boxes locked onto both shapes perfectly. No flicker. No confusion. The system now recognized them clearly. Lena let out a broken sound. The smaller shape on the screen tilted its head in the exact same motion. Mirroring her, the tall one's arm began to lift.
Slowly.
Reaching toward Maya. The phone screen cracked with static. The image distorted violently. And then, everything went dark. The house lights came back on all at once. Blinding. Overhead bulbs humming normally. The closet door stood closed. The bedroom door was still locked. The tapping had stopped. The whispering was gone. Maya's phone screen displayed a single message. New device added to your system. Device name, bedroom. Neither sister spoke for a long time, because they both understood something now. It hadn't forced its way in. It hadn't broken the door. It hadn't climbed the stairs. It had been learning, testing, growing. And whatever had entered their home that night was no longer small, and no longer alone, the system. The police came the next afternoon. Maya's dad had finally decided that software glitch no longer covered it after the security company confirmed something unsettling. There was no record of a bedroom camera ever being added to the system. Yet the logs clearly showed a device registered at 2:17 a.m. Device name, bedroom. Status, active for 42 seconds. Then removed. No IP trace. No external access. No sign of hacking. It's impossible, the technician said over the phone. Cameras don't just install themselves. But something had. The officers searched the house carefully. Closets. Attic. Crawl space.
Garage.
Every window latch. Every vent. Nothing. No footprints. No forced entry. No hidden cameras. Just a house that looked perfectly normal in daylight. But Maya noticed something the officers didn't. The temperature inside the house was uneven. The hallway felt colder than the rest. And their bedroom? Freezing. As if the air conditioning vent was permanently open. That night, their parents insisted the sisters sleep downstairs. No doors locked. All lights on. Alarm system armed. The technician reset the system remotely before leaving work. Fresh firmware, he'd said confidently, should solve everything. At 1:03 a.m., the alarm didn't sound. The lights didn't flicker. The cameras didn't go offline. Instead, every device in the house activated at once. TV powering on. Kitchen tablet lighting up. Smart speaker chiming. Thermostat display glowing bright blue. The house hummed to life. Maya sat up first. The television screen in the living room displayed the security feed automatically. Not cycling. Not glitching.
Just one camera. The hallway.
Empty. The audio from the smart speaker crackled softly. Static. Then breathing. Slow. Measured. Lena pressed closer to their mother. Turn it off, their dad muttered, reaching for the remote. The TV didn't respond. The hallway feed zoomed in slightly. Not digitally. Physically. As if the camera itself leaned forward. And then, the tall shape appeared. Standing at the far end of the corridor. Clearer than ever before. Still without detail. Still without a face. But undeniably there. The green tracking box locked onto it instantly. Another box appeared beside it. Smaller. The two shapes began walking. Not gliding. Walking. Each step deliberate. The breathing from the speaker grew louder in sync with their movement.
Step.
Inhale.
Step.
Exhale. Their mother whispered, "This isn't possible." The hallway light flickered behind the figures, and more shapes stepped out from the walls. At first, it looked like shadows stretching, but they detached, separated.
Small ones. 3.
Then 4. The system tried to track them all. Green boxes multiplied across the screen until it looked like a grid of detection markers moving down the hall. The thermostat display began lowering rapidly. 72 degrees. 68 degrees. 63 degrees. The air in the room turned biting cold. Their dad rushed to unplug the router. The Wi-Fi lights died instantly. But the TV feed didn't cut. The hallway camera kept streaming. Without connection. The tall shape reached the bedroom door at the end of the hall. The same door whose handle had twisted days before. The figure didn't touch it. It didn't need to. The door opened inward slowly on screen. Inside that room, darkness. The smaller shapes slipped in first, one by one. The tall one followed last. The door closed behind them. The screen flickered. And suddenly, the feed changed. Now it showed their bedroom from above again. That impossible angle. Only this time, the view was clearer. More stable. The bed downstairs, where the family now sat, was visible in the frame. All 4 of them, huddled, watching. The camera wasn't in the hallway. It wasn't in the bedroom. It was here, with them. Lena began crying quietly. The tall shape appeared at the edge of the screen. Inside the living room, behind the couch, the smaller shapes spread out along the walls. Not touching, just occupying space. The smart speaker activated again. A voice emerged, not whispering, not layered.
Clear. Calm.
Learning. The voice didn't say words. It repeated sounds. Fragments. Clipped phrases gathered from days of listening. Front door breached. Motion detected. It's coming upstairs. Don't. It knows we're awake. The phrases overlapped unnaturally. Mechanical, but improving. The tall shape leaned closer to the camera. The image sharpened. And for the first time, there were features. Not eyes. Not a mouth. But an indentation where a face should be. Like something pressing outward from inside a thin membrane. Trying to form. The smaller shapes began to flicker. Each one pulsing faintly, as though syncing to an invisible signal. The TV volume increased by itself. The voice repeated one final phrase. "We're here." The screen went black. Every device powered off simultaneously. The house fell into silence. No breathing. No whispering. No tracking boxes. Just darkness. For several minutes, no one moved. Then, the alarm system chimed softly. A normal notification tone. Maya's phone lit up. System update complete. Below it, a new notification appeared. User added successfully. Her father leaned over her shoulder. What user? Maya's thumb trembled as she opened the access list. There were 4 names. Dad.
Mom. Maya.
Lena. And one more. No profile picture. No email. Just a single identifier. Owner. The temperature in the room dropped again. Not dramatically. Just enough. Enough to notice. From the dark hallway beyond the living room, a soft, deliberate knock echoed. 3 taps.
Pause.
3 taps again. But this time, it didn't sound like it was outside the room. It sounded like it was inside the walls. Every wall. And somewhere in the quiet hum of the house, beneath the wires and circuits and hidden connections, something else hummed back. Not leaving. Not hiding. Connected. Watching. Learning. And now, in control.